Since last year, the government, there was a fund awarded essentially last year of £100 million to help with weight loss programmes. Of that, £30 million has been spent by councils to fund said initiatives. But get this, only 220 people so far have managed to keep their weight off. Now, by my crass calculations, that's about £136,000 per person. £136,000 to lose 5% of your body. I'd do it for half that, actually. Emma, where do you start? Is it Boris Johnson's responsibility to help you or anyone else lose weight?
Well, we used the term lived experience earlier. Nobody can talk about this topic with more lived experience than I can. Your more eagle-eyed viewers will notice that I've not yet hit my weight loss target, but those who've seen me on the television over the years will know that I've lost half my body weight. I used to be 25.
You gave us a picture, didn't you? Have we got this picture? You said we could use a picture of you.
I did. I don't think they asked for it, but I'm very happy to share it whenever you want because I'm very proud of what I've done.
Yeah.
Now, the government gave me a kickstart with that. The NHS invested in me. I had gastric sleeve surgery, which meant that I lost 7 stone very quickly, over a year.
7 stone?
I lost 7 stone over a year, and then I started, because the stomach is a muscle, and because...
Can I ask a really personal question?
Of course.
If it's too personal, tell
Michelle,
me
you know me, there's nothing I don't share.
7 stone is pretty much me in a little bit. That is a huge weight loss. So what?
But I've lost much more than that.
But how... I don't want to be offensive, so I'm trying to pick my words
please
carefully.
say whatever you need to say.
How did you get as big as that in the first place?
The thing about being very overweight, I started gaining weight when I started being sexy, basically.
Right.
I opted out of the sexual rat race, essentially. So about 14, I started piling on the pounds. And I piled on the pounds and I piled on the pounds and I got miserable because I was fat and I ate because I was miserable and I got fat because I ate. And it's a horrible, horrible, vicious cycle that people who think it's really helpful to shout at you on the bus, oh, you're really fat. It's like, my God, so I am. I'd never noticed. That's why my back hurts constantly. That horrible, vicious cycle. Getting to that state happens in your head. It happens to your body, but it happens in your head. And that's what I needed to break. And that's what the government's Head Start gave me. Now, I had to do...
What do you mean the government's Head Start?
Well, the investment, the NHS investment in deciding to intervene in my health at that point...
But you must have made your own decision.
It was my decision, but the NHS offered me the surgery and I chose to take it.
Right.
I then chose to run with it. Because the stomach's a muscle, I started putting weight back on a little bit, and I was like, absolutely not happening. So I then went to, I don't know if I'm allowed to name the brand, but it was one of your slimming club type things. And I've lost further 6 stone with them. So I've lost 12.5 stone.
That is incredible, actually.
And I've got 2.5 to go. And I know, guys, you're all screaming, you're still a fat woman. I know.
Well, I've got a lot of respect, actually, because I think I've got a very fast metabolism. I think we're quite lucky. But to lose that amount of weight and to keep going, I think it's extraordinary. Yeah. So good for you. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to show that picture. But Harriet, where do you stand on this?
Well, I'm addicted to cake, so I'm incredibly sympathetic with putting weight on. I think that if you look at, it's quite interesting. If you look at photos from the 1950s, everybody's slim, and you kind of think, well, why is it that we have just put on weight and put on weight? I do think that it's incredibly difficult now to lose weight because a lot of these fast foods have deliberately put together a taste, the sugar and the fat to get us addicted. I mean, they've done this with a great deal of thought. And so getting off it is horrendously hard, which, I mean, you have obviously succeeded. But it is horrendously hard because I read it's almost as difficult as coming off heroin.
Well, the problem is, and I've said this in articles that I've written about it, you would not ask an alcoholic to drink a quarter of vodka a day to stay alive.
Yeah.
But I have to eat every day. And if my addiction is overeating, managing that whilst also having to have that intake of food, which of course I have to have. I mean, let's not be stupid about this. Yeah. That is where that's the really hard part, because there's no going cold turkey on this.
So you saw or I don't know if you do still, or past tense, present tense, I don't know. So you would see your food consumption as an illness?
I mean, I don't know if illness is exactly the right word. It's
compulsion?
It was a compulsion, absolutely. And it was also, let's not be dumb about this, when you are as unhappy as I was, you will choose something that will give you a quick boost. And something that gave me a quick boost was food.
I think the truth is that it all starts in the mind.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
It all starts in the mind. And I think conversations like this are actually really important, because I think due to the sensitive nature of the issue, people like to dance around it. People like to skirt around it. I love the fact that, firstly, congrats on that weight loss.
Yeah, it's great.
That is phenomenal. I love to hear those stories. And the truth is, it does come down ultimately to personal responsibility. There's all this talk about the government and the public, and of course there's the advertising industry and the food industry, and all of that plays a role in the environment. But the truth is that you cannot eat nor exercise for anybody else. So an individual has to make that personal decision that they want to make a change, and that is always going to be the starting point. If someone does not want to commit to that change, then nothing
and no one can help them. Fascinating stuff. Right, I have just noticed the time. I could honestly continue this conversation for a very, very long time. Guys on my panel, thank you very much for your honesty, your openness, your vulnerabilities as well. We much appreciate it.